you know what time it is? It's story time. Veterinary medicine, especially large animal veterinary medicine, has a tendency to humble you very quickly. And when I was working as a young man in Arkansas, I had worked for a veterinary hospital that had a contract with a very large ranch out there in Arkansas. And I don't want to give the name of that out and make it public. It was 20 plus years ago. It probably doesn't matter, but just in case. Large ranch, typical ranch, 2,000 acre ranch, lots of cattle, but they also were a backgrounding operation. So they would go around and they would buy pot loads of cattle, which means for 7 weights, that'd be about 70 to 80 animals. And when they would buy a pot load or a truckload of brand new bulls that they had got somewhere, one of my jobs was to come out and to work those animals. We would castrate them by banding them, and we would also vaccinate them. We would deworm them. We would do bangs testing if needed. There was just a lot that needed to be done. Not only to tag them, to get them ready for the backgrounding operation, and of course to the castration. That was probably the biggest part of the whole thing, was the castration. And we had this big thing called the bander. And it was a big rubber ribbon. It looked like a ribbon, and it had a clamp down here. And I'll try to show you a picture of that if I can. I don't know if I can or not, but I'll try to. But anyway, we would take this bander, and it had a wrench pulley system on it and a cutter. And we would grab the scrotum and the testicles of the bull, and get that up there, and then you would basically tighten it down so tight, okay, and then clamp it off and cut it. And it would be so tight around there that it would cut off all the blood supply. And those testicles would go numb, so the animals felt almost no discomfort. And then after they were numb, they would die and they would fall off in the feedlot. Very humane, very easy, very successful way to castrate those bulls. But these were 700-pound bulls. And I was getting in behind the bulls to do the castration. In this hot day, it was so hot, it was just miserably hot. There were several men that were helping me push the animals through and to work them. And I was going just as fast as I could. I mean, that's the mark of a true cowboy, is to get it done as fast as possible. And of course, in my haste, I had not realized that the bull was not completely secure and that the gates had not been closed on it, and I stepped in behind him, and when I grabbed his testicles in my haste, not paying attention, that bull jumped straight up in the air and he kicked me right here in my chest. When he did, being a 190-pound man at that time, he snapped 3 of the ribs off of my sternum, and I literally went airborne. He picked me up and slung me to the back of the palpation chute, and the back of my head hit the metal on the back of the palpation chute, and I slid down in a daze of near unconsciousness. I really don't know if he knocked me out completely. I just know that when I came to, I couldn't breathe. I mean, I could not breathe. I stood up and I had flies all over my head. I had them going in my mouth. And I took a big deep breath, and when I moved like this, all three of those ribs popped back into place. I felt a pop, and I could breathe. That hurt like somebody had punched me in the nose 50 times. I mean, it hurt. But when they popped, it didn't hurt anymore. I was totally in the adrenaline mode, and I was warm from working. So after they popped, they didn't hurt anymore. But I'll never forget this. As I got up, most of those men who were helping me work those cattle had disappeared. They really thought this bull had killed me. And instead of helping me, they left me. And that was not a good feeling. I'm just telling you right now. The head honcho guy that was there that day had stuck around, and he was over there asking me if I was all right and if I was okay. And I was coughing up, from the trauma, and I was telling him I was going to be all right, that I wasn't dead. But I looked down, and this is the part that's totally unbelievable. You're not going to believe me about this, but it is absolutely 100% true. I looked down, and I was standing in manure in my socks. Both of my boots were under the bull. To this day, I really don't know how that happened. He kicked me so hard and picked me up and slung me so fast. And of course, it was deep in muck. But that stuff had grabbed my boots. And when he slung me so hard, my boots come off of my feet and were under the bull. Well, I did castrate that guy. I did finish the job, and I did it barefooted. And when they let him out, I then got in there and got my boots and come out, and I tried to clean the muck off the best I could, and I put my boots back on, and I finished the last, I think, 15 to 20 that were left that particular day, and I left. And I wasn't hurting too bad. I could feel some pressure and some swelling and stuff. And I took a little bit of Advil that I had in my veterinary truck. And as I was leaving, I wasn't hurting that bad. But as the air conditioner began to cool me down, and I took that 30-minute drive back to the hospital, by the time I got there, I was in pure misery. And I mean, every time I'd cough, every time I'd laugh, anytime I did anything, man, that stuff just ate. And it ate for 6 to 12 weeks. I can't even remember. It just seemed like it was forever. I did go to the doctor. They did x-ray it. And the guy was like, I don't know how you're alive. That's amazing. He said, there's really nothing I can do about these fractured ribs. They'll just have to heal on their own. They're in place. Just take it easy. And he gave me some Tylenol, and I went about my way. If that bull was to kick me right now at my more advanced age, I don't think I would have made it. So all you young veterinarians out there, and cattlemen and people, be careful. It's dangerous out there. Bye.